Why don't we give it a taste without anything?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right.
All right, you taste that one. I'll taste the Uptons.
Go get another fork. Go get 2 other forks. We don't want to double dip here.
When I was a little kid, I used to love comfort food, and I specifically remember adoring a good sloppy joe and pulled pork sandwiches. And ever since having gone vegan, I don't really do that anymore. However, I have come across a couple of cool ideas to veganize all of those childhood memories. And in this video, I'm actually going to be accompanied by the person responsible for me loving those aforementioned comfort food items. So without further ado, we have a special guest on today's episode. And it's none other than the person responsible for me loving all those sloppy joes and pulled pork sandwiches. So without further ado, hey, get in here.
Right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet Brenda. This is my mother. Say hi.
Hi.
So in today's episode, she's going to be guest starring with me. We're going to be reviewing the Jackfruit Company versus Upton's Naturals in the ultimate battle of vegan food review, jackfruit pulled pork sandwiches. You ready to do this?
Yeah.
All right, me too. Let's get started.
Let's go.
This is going to be a very special episode because Mom's here.
Hi.
And we're going to be pinning these 2 ultimate vegan food items that we come to love as a kid. I still love them. Every now and then they are definitely a staple in an easy dinner, right? I think they're pretty easy to make. And this is simply something that you can really do at home. I'm thinking that today we're going to be adding a little bit of lettuce, romaine if I'm not mistaken, a little bit of cheese, as well as some standard typical sandwich bread that used to remind me of the items that I used to love as a kid. So let's go ahead and get started things off. If you're new to the channel, my name is Francis. This is my mom, Brenda. Here on this channel, we like to do some vegan food reviews because I am a vegan foodie. I'm not entirely whole foods plant-based just yet. Sometimes I like to splurge out, and I think you do too, right? From time to time? No? Okay, that's just me then. So I figured that in today's episode, we're going to be making old school sloppy joes and, take a trip down memory lane and see what happens. So I want to take you through the process. It's going to be really simple, and please don't get accustomed. This is not a cooking channel by any means, but sometimes we just have to try new things and have some fun on this channel. So if you're new here and you like what you see, consider subscribing if you want to see more episodes just like this one. So first thing I want to do is it lets you know, explain to you how I really go about doing these vegan food reviews. I like to essentially review 5 things on my to-do list, right? First of all is packaging. Second is taste and texture. I want to do a review of the nutrition facts as well as the ingredients. And finally, we're going to be letting you in on the price and how much we actually invested to get these. So the first thing that we want to review is definitely the packaging. So Mom, I'll give you the Jackfruit Company.
Okay.
And I will be looking at Upton's Natural. So the first thing I want you to tell me is, what do you think of the packaging?
The packaging is pretty attractive. It's, yellow and it looks really yummy.
Yeah, I definitely
on the
see
plate,
the texture.
right?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like this.
Okay. As far as the Upton's Naturals, it also has a textured picture of the actual product on it. I like the color pattern on this. The palette is really eye-catching. I think that this would definitely stand out on the shelves, which is one of the reasons why I actually like reviewing the packaging, because in case you actually end up liking it, you will definitely look for it a second time around. And so I definitely like the packaging on this one. I like the guy with the handlebar mustache and thick beard. That's kind of fun. But both seem to be very attention grabbing. I enjoyed taking a look at these. I like the fact that this one's a pouch inside a box. I give this a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, only reason I don't give it an exact 10 is because I think it could be perfect in somehow, some way. But yeah, I like these packaging. They're pretty cool.
They're both fine.
Yeah. All right. So now that that is out of the way, we're actually going to go ahead and cook these up. I don't think, let's see, the directions say.
Well, mine says it could be on a stove top, stir on medium heat for 5 minutes, which is really quick. Microwave for 1 or 2 minutes. After opening, refrigerate and use within 5 days.
Yeah, so on my end, definitely says remove product from pouch, place in pan over medium heat with a small amount of oil. That's optional. I don't really like oil. I don't think you do a lot of oil either. And cook for 8 to 10 minutes. So, 5 minutes that one, 8 to 10 minutes this one.
Yeah.
Again, I have the Upton. She's the one that has the jackfruit
this
company.
This one uses no oil. This one does.
Okay.
It suggests.
All right. Yeah, so I have been thawing these for quite some time, even before she got here. So they're ready to go. It says that if frozen, run your package under cold water for 10 minutes or just remove from the fridge for 24 hours, which is more or less what I did, I guess. So yeah, let's go ahead and give these a try and roll some beautiful beef footage of
that.
Yeah, that's Mila in the background. All right, so let's get started.
Let's go.
All right, so as you can see, we are in fact putting these in a pot and sauce, since I don't cook much here. Mom actually has some comments that she would like to share based on some findings that she landed on while cooking these. So go ahead, take it away.
Jackfruit Company has a meaty kind of vinegary, meaty kind of smell. Also, it has like a stewy color, like the color of meat when you put it in a stew with potatoes. It's kind of an auburn kind of brown. And I also noticed that it was cut into like cubes, most of it, but it was very shreddable. It shredded really easily. I hardly had to use a knife. I did it basically with the fork, so that I loved. Now, the other one smells more tomatoey. It doesn't smell as much as meat as the other one. And also, the chunks are cut into triangles for some reason or other. And they were really hard to shred, So up to now, I prefer the Jackfruit Company compared to the Upton. But of course, we have to taste it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I think they're ready to go. So if you want to go get the buns, and the fixings.
Well, like I said, it's not really buns. It's just your standard, typical, bread. We're actually using Dave's Killer Bread. This is one of the best bread I think I've ever had. So that's gonna have to do, because I couldn't find some vegan bread at the Fresh Mart, which is where I got this.
Why don't we give it a taste without anything?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right.
All right, you taste that one. I'll taste the Uptons.
Go get another fork. Go get 2 other forks. We don't want to double dip here.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to taste the first one. I think you should taste it after me. Let's shut off the heat and keep it there. All right, there you go. Wow, that's really soft. Melts in your mouth kind of thing. Again, it has a little acidity to it and a good meaty flavor. Not a strong barbecue flavor. It's there, but it's not too strong. It's more of a meaty flavor. Go ahead, see what you think. Okay,
so this is if If you are, in fact, of Hispanic origin or a Latino, as they're called, this definitely looks like ropa vieja. I don't know if you guys know what ropa vieja is.
It's a Cuban. It's more Cuban.
Yeah, I guess it's a Cuban thing, but it definitely, the texture, I don't know if you can tell, but the texture looks like, you know,
shredded beef.
Shredded, yeah, exactly. So let's give it a whirl. Wow. Okay, so I can definitely taste the barbecue, but like she said, it's more of a subtle barbecue flavor. It's not, you know, pungent. It's not like in your face barbecue, but definitely you can definitely tell that you know, that barbecue flavor is prevalent. So not bad. It's like it's sort of, it feels like cotton candy actually.
Yeah.
It felt like it dissolved. Yeah, it's dissolved in your mouth. That was actually not bad at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's go for the other one.
Let's go to
you go first.
Upton's. Okay, I'm gonna try the Upton's here.
See, it
first.
still has like chunks.
Yeah,
it's not as
shredded as the other one, but
and it's a little redder. It doesn't have that brown flavor, like that brown color.
Yeah. So right off the bat, I'm gonna agree with her that the Upton's is more tomato centric. I can definitely taste the tomato way more than in the barbecue.
It's spicier, a lot spicier.
It is actually. I think so. What else? It doesn't dissolve in your mouth as easily as that one, but again, that's sort of personal preference. I kind of like a meatier texture. You know, sue me, but that's just my opinion. I like the texture of this one better. I like the flavor of the jackfruit better. Yeah. If in a perfect world, for me at least, I don't know how you feel, but they would be both together. Like the texture of the Upton's paired with the flavor of the jackfruit company would be an ideal. So I think that at the end of the day, you have to sort of pick and choose which you would, I guess, place more weight on, whether it's texture or flavor. So that's how I feel. How do you see it?
I don't know. I love the spice in the Upton because the other one, the jackfruit company, had no spice at all in terms of barbecue. When you think of barbecue, you think of those really nice warm spices. Not there. It just has a good meaty flavor. Not a lot of tomato flavor, not a lot of barbecue flavor. It's there, but it's very slight. This is in your face barbecue. The taste, the texture, like Francisco said, in my liking, I prefer the jackfruit company. This one is a little chewy for me. It has more of a bite. In terms of pulled pork usually is very soft. So I would prefer this one, the jackfruit company.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really foresee this being that big of a toss-up. Either you're going to go for texture over flavor, and you're going to go for flavor over texture. That's basically the two main differences that I think we both can agree on. One's more in your face, the other one is more subtle, but the other one dissolves more in your mouth like meat would do. If you're a fan, like if you're on the fence and you've been, you know, marinating the idea of actually trying out a pork substitute, this is definitely a very good option. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. So there you have it, taste and texture. I hope that's a good summary. Alrighty, so while Mom prepares the aforementioned sloppy joes, I'm gonna go ahead and touch base on nutrition facts because again, a lot of you out there are either watching your weight or allergic to some ingredients. So in this portion of the video review, we're going to be talking about nutrition facts as well as the ingredients that are contained in both of these products. I'm going to start with the jackfruit company here. You have a serving size of half a cup, which equates to more or less 110 grams. Serving size per container is 2.5. Be advised that this is a 10-ounce bag. Calories per serving is 110, which isn't too bad. 35 of which are apparently from fat. Total fat is 3.5 grams, which is 5% of the daily value. Of course, no cholesterol, as there is none in vegan products, of course. You have 370 milligrams of sodium, which is a little bit high. 15% of your DV. Carbs is at 18 grams, which is 6% of your DV. And you got 2 grams of protein per serving. Be advised, it also has 7 grams of sugar. This is a jackfruit company. I'm gonna go ahead and place the ingredients on this so that you can go ahead and pause the screen if you need to and check out if you are allergic to anything along the lines of this ingredient label. Conversely, the Upton's has 4 servings per container. The serving size is approximately 2.65 ounces. Calories per serving is 45, which is a lot less than the jackfruit, if you don't mind me saying. Total fat is 0. Saturated fat, of course, is 0. Cholesterol, of course, is 0. Sodium is a little lower as well, 250 milligrams as opposed to 370 in the other one, which I believe was the case. Total grams of carbs is 10. Added sugars is actually 4, 2 of which are added, and you have 1 gram of protein. And in both cases, you have negligible amounts of vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. So as far as the nutrition facts, I definitely give the edge, as far as I can tell, to Upton's. It also has a lot less ingredients than the jackfruit. And granted, most of them are actually whole foods plant-based, so it's nothing like xanthan gums and carrageenans and artificial flavoring, anything like that. It's just that the seasoning for the jackfruit is actually way more extensive than the Upton's. So there you have it. Okay, so we have taken the liberty of making these homemade sloppy joes. Definitely going to trip down memory lane here in a second. This is we're going to be reviewing which one first?
The jackfruit.
Jackfruit. Ready?
Jackfruit company.
Jackfruit company. Here we go.
Bon appetit. I thought it was going to be dry.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not. It's pretty moist. Holds up good to the cheese.
It's hearty.
It's hearty. I like it a lot. Can you eat the whole thing?
Probably. What do you think? Does it pair well with a sandwich?
It does. It goes good with the cheese, and it does kind of have a hint. I just got it now of spice. It hits you at the end, which is really nice.
She thinks that it was, I think you said moist.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't too dry. If I'm not mistaken, I remember sloppy joes being literally sloppy, drenched in sauce. And if I'm being honest, neither one of these has that sloppy joe texture to it in terms of riddled with sauce.
Yeah. It's more of a pulled pork thing.
Yeah, sure.
It's
I can
not
definitely.
a sloppy joe.
Right, but maybe the way that you actually sort of mush this together and give it your own type of feel, maybe you can turn it into a sloppy joe. But
Something saucier.
I guess I'm enamored with the concept of it as opposed to what it actually is, which is more of a pulled pork kind of substitute. So I wish these companies would make this just a little bit saucier, maybe not necessarily liquidy by any means, but I wish they were more moist than what I think she thinks they are. So that's just my personal preference. I would have preferred it to be more saucy.
Looser.
Yeah, I'm more of a sauce kind of guy, and it's all about the flavor and the sauce for me. So that's just again my personal preference.
Yeah, in the packaging, when you look at it in the package, it looks very saucy, but as you heat it, the liquid evaporates quite a bit,
which is normal.
Yeah,
which is normal.
Yeah. And it doesn't, but maybe you can just add a little marinara sauce or tomato sauce, tomato paste, and add your own little zhuzh to it.
Yeah, in no way, shape, or form are you obligated to, eat it right out of the box just like that. You can definitely give it your own twist. So now we're going to be reviewing the Upton's on the same sandwich, same ingredients. We got a little bit of vegan cheese, cheddar to be specific, butter leaf lettuce, and yeah, that's basically it. Mike's Killer Bread. Here we go.
Again, this has spice up front and at the end. It's more it's tomatoey. It's very tomatoey. It's even drier than the jackfruit. The jackfruit company, since it has a softer texture, it's not saucy, but it's soft. I like the bite of the other one better. This one is drier.
I'm gonna have to agree. I think for whatever reason, to me, in terms of texture, it pairs better with a sandwich as opposed to a standalone item. But yeah, I agree. I think the jackfruit ended up being a little bit more moist, more saucy in that regard. Upton's is definitely more meatier. I'll say that.
And spicier.
And spicier, yeah. But again, this is the more tomato-y kind of jackfruit, but it actually didn't do bad in terms of a sandwich. So if you're looking for a good pulled pork substitute, you can honestly not go wrong with either one. I think these are great options. Alrighty, so speaking of options, that's the last thing that we need to talk about, and it's definitely price. They are reasonably priced. Both of these were less than $6 each at Fresh Mart, which is sort of like my version of Whole Foods, if you will, here in Puerto Rico. I think there was maybe like a 50-cent difference between one of them. I think Upton's was actually on sale for $5.39 as opposed to jackfruit, which was retailing for $5.79. I think they're both reasonably priced. Both of them have at least 10 ounces. The Upton's has 10.6 ounces, which is, splitting hairs really. But at the end of the day, I think they are worth the price. And if you don't feel like cooking and you come home really late, this is definitely going to save you in a pinch when you don't feel like putting together a very convoluted dinner. So I think it's very, very reasonably priced. Definitely worth every penny in my opinion. So there you have it. That's basically our vegan food review for jackfruit. If you got any value and you made a better purchasing decision after watching this video, definitely give it a like and let us help somebody else that's looking for this kind of review. And if you enjoy watching these vegan food reviews, let me know by subscribing and turn the bell notification on so that you don't miss a single one of these episodes. And before I let you go, I want to know, which item have you been on the fence about and just couldn't pull the trigger because you don't really see a review? Let me know down in the comments so that I can maybe pick that up for you and review it for you on the channel. So for Brenda, my name is Francis. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for being here.
Bye.